Please welcome Janeane Garofalo.
Okay, now number one, just because in the intro they said 10 times winning, don't create a false opposition to say, well, we're not going to let them this time. And maybe you didn't remember that somebody said that, and I went back and forth on even mentioning it. But you just said it. But I know some people like to be contrarian. That was not a strong way to start, so I'm going to start like this. And try and speak to you authentically how, when I was, do you want to do 1920s, 2020s? Now, for me personally, I don't know if the 1920s would have been better, but I am, and historically, I don't care about aging. Historically, I do not care about aging. But when I turned 61, I felt that was quite enough now. And also, increasingly, I cannot function in modern culture. Now, I'm a bit of a neo-Luddite. And that's a value-neutral statement. It's true. I have tried to live off the grid as much as one can, which is not at all, as it turns out. And I can't stand it. And as I was mentioning earlier to you, a lot of this stuff didn't even kick in until I was an early middle-aged lady with a drinking problem. So it's not natural. It's not intuitive. I don't like it. Do you know that the Messiah has a QR code? Don't swipe your... It's not going to come back if you swipe your phone, but you will get a lot more scam-likely phone calls. And scam-likely would have just been the name of a gangster in the 1920s. And with his friend Dutch Tilt. But and I've unfortunately had to travel more recently because I have a new stand-up comedy booker that works really hard, and that's not right for me at all. It's not right for me at all. Because I'm the kind of person that whenever anybody tells me I can't do something, I am so grateful. Does that make sense? Because I want to. I've stayed in hotels with AI staff. I don't like it. I've seen Waymo cars. Do not get into a driverless car. Do not, off to pre-crime you go. You know what I mean? Like, everything is hackable. Everything, and I don't like sweeping generalizations, but I've met some of the, let's say most, I was going to say dumbest people in the world who thrive beautifully in modern culture. They can do anything. They can do anything that I can't do it. I can't understand a lot of the technology. I truly can't. I'm not proud of that at all. But it's not faster. When a plane gets canceled, for me, at the airport, it's like, well, that's that. Because I don't have an app for anything, and I can't do anything. And now that sometimes I do bring an iPad, I had to buy an iPad, and it'll say, do you agree to our terms and conditions? No. Well, then you can't do it. So then why did you? So you have no agency whatsoever. And you might, I'm sorry, I have all these notes. I should have done it, but I'm trying to communicate with you. Also, the climate clock in Union Square, guess what it would say? You have 103 years and 217 days until it's over. So take it easy. You have so much time until the climate. And it wouldn't be the climate clock. It would be a young kid in short pants saying, extra, extra. There's 103 years and 217 days. And you could live every day like it's your first. But also, there's, and you could be forgiven for falling for scams, like a Ponzi scheme, let's say. Because he was alive, Ponzi. That's how it started in the 1920s. That's how Lord Grantham got involved. Now, do you remember that docuseries about the Crawley family? Way before the Loud family on PBS. Way before. You know what I'm talking about? The docuseries about the Crawley family. Downton Abbey. It's a document, found footage. They colorized it. And you wouldn't have had a lot of guns. Now, there were guns. Of course there were guns. That's who we are. And I can't stand when news people say that's not who we are. That's exactly who we are. But it would have been harder to get them, and they were in the family, and you would have just fought with your fists. And by the way, with slash, they had knives. I'm not trying to be condescending, but you could slice the bread. You could slice the bread. And to that end, I think the Knives Out series is cast by how many followers you have. Not Daniel Craig, but I think the other ones. But you didn't have to worry about followers in the old days. You didn't have to have, and you know, have you ever seen footage of when people were filmed or a picture was taken? They're stunned or frightened. They can't, why are you doing that? They can't get their head around why somebody would be filming them. So there was far less vanity. And it just, I think there was, people were less hygienic, and the fashion, you know what, for me as a 61-year-old, I'd rather, because I just wear a burlap sack belted, fine. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? I think things would have been easier. It's just, like I said, for me, and I'm not trying to be so personal about it, I can't, the grid's gonna go down at some point. Because there's so many satellites in lower Earth orbit at this point that there's an imminent threat of a cascade of collisions, right? So the grid will go down, and I'll be free. I've been trapped in a group text since March 18th. I can't get out. I don't know how to get out. I can't stand it. I feel held hostage by modern technology in a way, and I'm being sincere. I'm not manufacturing content for you. I feel that way, and I feel it's so much less safe. It's so invasive. And you know, back in the old days, my father's almost 90, so this is going to sound odd, but it's not. My paternal and maternal grandparents as children came to this country as small children in around 1912. And of course, the Irish faction went to Boston, and the Italian ones came here. The classic tri-state area split. And of course, they would have come with, what, $2? You could make it back then. Now, you hear modern myths. I came to New York with $50 in my pocket and a ton of credit cards and Apple, you know. I can't stand that myth that you only, and by the way, that would be far more cash than the average citizen has in their pocket. Nobody has cash. They won't, I want to pay with cash. Susie Orman wants me to pay with cash. I want to, I can't stand it. I can't stand trying to live this way. And the thing is, I'm bullied. Do you feel, I feel we're in the same wheelhouse right here. The three of us. But you guys are silver foxes. My hair's totally gray, but it's not like that. So I have to keep dyeing it, and I have to go professional because we just redid the tub, so I can't use a box anymore. So, and the amount of money it costs is crazy. It's crazy. And then, you know what? Sometimes you try it, and I can't even block on my phone the scam likely, by the way. It still comes through. And I've tried to block Jones Road makeup. I switched to Jones Road. If you like it greasy. If you want to enhance the size of your pores, it's Jones Road. I've tried to block it. It doesn't. And it says, we're having trouble blocking it. All of these things that take our agency away. Also, the gap between AI, artificial intelligence, and us is too wide. It's too wide. They keep cutting funding for public education and amping up AI. Now, when the grid goes down, and God willing, if you don't think your machines hold a grudge, I know I do, because they talk to each other. I read that in Wired magazine when my plane was delayed. And they talk to each other all the time. But I think they will still remain sentient in some way. In summation, I guess, and CVS, the stuff wasn't locked. It wasn't locked back then. It wasn't locked. No, there wasn't a CVS, but it wasn't locked. Whatever it wasn't locked, right? Can you believe the Wet n Wild makeup is locked? What? Anyway, I'm so sorry. That was disjointed. And again, I remind you, don't hold the 10 thing against this wonderful group of people. Thank you so much.